gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I hope you're ready for tonight because we actually got the blue team ready in tow with their full 5-man, and we won't be having any DQs, thankfully. So we'll be kicking things off very shortly. We're in draft and, or sorry, we're about to get in draft. And it should be hopefully a good game. We're going to be kicking it off with a classic map that I think is still really good, but you don't see nearly as often for a variety of reasons. And this will be interesting because you don't see too many teams probably playing this map or practicing it nearly as much. So we're just waiting for the blue team to be all ready, and we'll be ready to go shortly. Now, like I said, we'll finally see how the blue team has evolved from last season, since they did fairly well overall. Now, CGL White, I don't remember if they were actually in Nexus Gaming. I actually don't believe they were CGL White, so this should be their first foray or second foray into the Nexus Gaming series. They did have their first match. I didn't actually see how they did. We'll take a quick look here. All right, so that is the wrong division. CGL White, no scoreboard update, so I can't tell you how they did their last series. All right, so we are kicking things off. Like I said, we're heading on over into a bit of a classic map, and that classic map is going to be Cursed Hollow, or Cursed Hollow, depending on how you want to pronounce that. Now, Cursed Hollow is definitely a great map for a Hanzo. This and BOE are probably the two best Hanzo maps, in my opinion. There's a ton of places to get your arrows off. You get insane value on the bosses for racing purposes, and you might even see some classics like Tyrael with the Holy Ground for some boss control, and Sanctification is still always good. Now, before we get any further in here, all right. So we saw the Raynor ban come on out. This isn't abnormal. Raynor is still very powerful, so I completely respect taking out a good old Jimmy here. Now, Genji is a very traditional ban, and it's really easy now to ensure there's never a Genji, in part due to the fact that you have 3 bans instead of only 2 bans. And you get to ban him out in the first rotation. And following that up, we're going to have the Garrosh ban. Like I've said last night, I don't feel Garrosh is not actually that big a threat in the current meta, in that Garrosh gets heavily countered by someone like a Jaina. However, on a map like this where you can set up in the bush, it is very scary because if someone walks too far forward, he could potentially Q them, toss them in, and or just wait for them to, base check and taunt them. So we're going to get Stukov taken out. Now keep in mind, Stukov did just change today. Stukov is reworked. There's a whole lot of changes for you to go check out, and I definitely recommend you do so. Uh, there are some nice sites that will summarize patch notes for Heroes of the Storm. Uh, let's see if I can find the right one for you guys. There we go. This might be. Here we go. Stukov changes. Here you go, everybody. You can go and now and read the Stukov changes. Now, thanks for the 1 bit, the dance game on Cursed Hollow. I'm with you. I'm with it. I actually still enjoy this map. I like macro control maps in that they really show how good a team is. I feel team fighting is one set of skills. Macro is another set of skills. Team fighting is a skill about how well you can do in the moment and think about how you can execute along with your communication. But macro is kind of a skill that demonstrates your forward thinking. You know, when you sit and play chess or checkers, you're thinking several moves ahead. And macro on a map like Cursed Hollow is basically how many moves ahead can you actually think. Now, we see the Rel and Diablo on the side of the blue team. I really like this. This is like a powerhouse pick. On the other side, we got the Dahaka and Hanzo. Very solid picks as well. And Dahaka gives them the global. They get a good solo laner. And then they have the Hanzo for, once again, that boss control, potential boss control. But then on the other side, the blue team has Diablo, wall bang city, baby. Because I hope you're not uncomfortable being slammed up against a wall, because Diablo got plenty of them to do that here. On top of that, Deckard Cain has some great zoning, able to get the roots off. There's Urel to knock people around, interrupt Phoenix, who was just chosen. Diablo can interrupt Phoenix. Deckard Cain can get the root off. There's a lot going on here for the blue team already, and I really like it. In the final 2 picks, we're going to see Greymane and Jaina. So this is looking really good. The one issue for Greymane is that he has to be concerned about isolation, potentially, along with the purification salvo coming out onto him, and then Rhaegar trying to slow him down with that totem. But he has Urel and Diablo, and it's going to be very hard for them to actually focus the Greymane, even if he does dive. And so the final pickup here is going to be Johanna. Johanna is super beefy, super tanky, and great wave clear. So you have Dahaka, Rhaegar, Johanna, Phoenix, very good wave clear. On the other side, you got Jaina and Greymane for very good wave clear, which is going to keep them generally looking good, I think. You'll have Urel in the solo lane, Greymane rotating for the camps, Jaina holding a lane, and then someone like Diablo and Deckard sitting in a lane soaking while the camps are picked up. And I definitely agree. Stukov ban over the Cain is definitely weird in that regard, unless they just don't know how to play against him at this point and they'd rather not, actually chance it. I do think 100% that Deckard is definitely a strong hero and definitely a better hero. It's a safer ban. Like, you don't have to worry about, okay, is Stukov good or not? Well, we know for a fact Deckard is good. And taking out Deckard with all of his tools available between the Lore NATO or stay a while and listen, all the setup he can do for dropping all those potions prior to a fight. Yeah, there's a lot going on for Deckard Cain. So one thing I want to point out before we get in here, or we're about to get in here, there's a bug in Ollie OBS. So we have to go with the old school UI. And so otherwise there's no hero portraits, which may or may not matter, but I opted to go with the default one, tweaked it. And so it's going to be a little bit different, the UI tonight. All right, guys. So let's get this party started. Or I guess this battle started. We got Ember on the Urel. And I can't zoom appropriately. We'll just have to deal. There we go. We got Ember on the Urel. We got Snadnez on the Diablo. We got Narina on the Greymane. Ragathek on the Deckard. And finally, we got Duke of Sky on the Jaina. On the other side, we got Breitz on the Johanna, Triple C4 on the Rhaegar, Soulman on the Hanzo, Fabre on the Phoenix, and finally in the bot lane, we got Pone on the Dahaka. And that is going to be CGL White versus the blue team, who is the blue team tonight. So we can see we got the Feast on Fear. This is really solid on this map because of all potential places of stun. Like I said, we got the traditional Fingers of Frost, the Wolfheart, the Maraud's Insight, and we got the Sapphire coming on out here. Other side, we have the Enhanced Agility, which is actually a little bit of a old school pick, I'd say, largely because most people are going with the tissue regen. At this point, it feels like. We also have the Electric Charge, so we're probably going to see the full W build or partial W build. We also got Advanced Targeting, Simple Geometry, and finally Laws of Hope. So nothing too out of the ordinary here. And we have a very quick rotation on the side of CGL White to go pick up this camp. This is super crisp, and blue team doing the same thing. However, blue team does have the advantage here because, well, they got the luck of RNGesus, and RNGesus is here to say bot lane is where it's going to spawn, which means top siege camp will get the most value. Except there's a nice gank coming on out onto Ember. Ember is going to try and get out, gets the jump, but it's not going to matter much as she basically alley-oops into her own death. So not going to hurt too much, but we have Snag, who is rotating on down, going to keep that soak. Ooh, he gets dragged by Pone. If he was in position a little bit more, he could have actually overpowered someone like Pone behind the tower and trapped him there. Unfortunately, he didn't get the overpower in time, and also he got dragged simultaneously. Oh, there we go! Snag getting in the grab. There comes the burrow. They're going to crack on through that gate, busted open, and Pone will be walking away. However, Triple C4 is out of mana. He's going to have to tap, or he's going to have to hurt, because the objective is going to be happening relatively shortly here. Now, there we go. We got Triple C4 backing on out, and he doesn't have Wolf Run. And you can see he picked up the Stormcaller, going for that talent. We also have Frost Armor here. I really don't like the Frost Armor choice. And now, a lot of people don't like people talking about talents, but Frost Armor is very useless here, in my opinion. You want to be able to poke, and they have double frontline. You need to be able to pierce and deal damage to both frontline members and to get your DPS. Snag coming in with a big old stun against the wall. The Blizzard coming on out, not going to connect. Root as well from Decker Kane, not going to be doing much. Trying their best to zone. Ember hitting him out of the way, but Breach just walking on in, hitting him with the wet noodle, and now it is going to be the full 5v5 commencing. Triple C4 going on in, going to be able to get out just in time from the root from Decker Kane. And now they are going to have to start backing up because they are looking worse for it. Where? And Arena will be first to go. The Blizzard doing some work there, but not enough as they are getting pushed on out. Pone getting the grab, but Ember following up with that very nice stun to save Snag. So they're all centered around. They could potentially collapse here. There are no towers. It would be a very aggressive call, but I think they could pull it off. There's only 3 members there at this point. Dahaka going on top to get the soak, and this is where the global advantage is really going to help them. So one thing is we also had that poll finished out at 7-2, by the way, in favor of the blue team. So top lane Ember is now back in action. We got Triple C4 working on these knights, and on the other side we got Arena working on the knights as well. Both teams mirroring each other, are doing really good job on the mercs. However, Rhaegar is significantly better actually at this than Arena come level 7 if they pick up Blood and Thunder. Of course, he picked up the cleanse because there's an insane amount of potential to cleanse out here. And unfortunately for the blue team, RNGesus is not smiling on him because Dahaka can now burrow on down to get this tribute. And he can safe soak up here the entire time and push until his team needs him. And this is as you can see, the blue team is already falling behind by a full level. They've only taken 2 kills, but they're losing the Soak war. Dahaka coming on in the backline, going to actually walk away, but Snag is not going to let him be, and Narina chews on the booty of some dinosaur and looking for a second kill. They're coming on in, but Breach dropping the blind, going to be able to stop him temporarily, coming on in with a punish as well to try and stop him, but nice overpower from Snag, trying to body block him from hell and back, but it's not going to be good enough, and Breach walks away. Now, they get the kill here. The problem is the kill is obviously not going to win you the game. It helps close the gap, but it's not enough. Additionally, they got the Siege Giants up. Thankfully, the Siege Giants have not gotten really any value out of this. In the mid lane, however, lane's been pushed up, going to help them rotate up safely on the blue team. So, blue team desperately needs to hold this. Rang definitely needs to get this, but Ember, they're all collapsing on in. Say goodbye, and all is going to be left to her is some ashes. Now they're going to have to back on up and give this up completely. This is very, very dangerous water to tread here. If they stay, level 10 could be picked up. And, oh, but they overextend on CGL. Pone taking a lot of damage. Narina is in there, chewed up the dinosaur barbecue, boys, and they are now once again in a 4v4. We got Ember coming on back. Soul Man is going to be able to get out of there with the agility, and they've managed to pick it up despite the 4v5. So that was very nicely done on the side of the blue team. They recognized the situation of, well, Pone and Breach are way too far forward. The rest of their team is all the way back. Why don't we just like chew up Pone and Breach, and then we could potentially force them to retreat, as they'll essentially be in a 4v4 situation at that point. So this is really bad though, because now it's a 10 versus 9 scenario. They're going to be able to get the 10, I believe. There we go. They get the 10. Snag all alone. He needs to be careful. The rest of the team is going to be able to come on in. We got the interrupt from Decker Kane, the root in place. Snag looking for the angles. It's all just simple geometry for Diablo here. Ember getting on in deep, looking for it, going on in for Fabric. Does get the overpower. Stay a while. No, stay a while and listen. Purification coming out onto 4 members. The Root from Decker is going to be holding 2. The Blizzard, though, is not doing enough. Not landing anything there. And Snag is getting slowed down from the Plasma Cutter. Once again, we have Stay a while and listen interrupted, and everyone alive. Duka Sky, there he goes, finally going down, and that is the first kill of this fight, and now curse is upon the blue team. So they do pick up Burritos. They're coming on in to the opportunity to turn things around for the blue team, but they do not have enough juice in the engine to keep this fight going. So they need to get out of dodge, because this is a full 4-man. They're pushing on in right now. Breach being very aggressive. And there is Stay a while and listen. We get the APOC coming on up. They're looking for him. Triple C4. No, the overpower from Snag. Snag essentially helped Triple C4 escape there. All he needed to do was body block it. Narina is not going to be able to help finish off anyone, but they dissuade the entire team of CGL to back up. Now, this is a mini win, but CGL's tapped. They're going back in. The stun from Snag. The overpower. Say goodbye to Phoenix, and he has been sent back to this world of StarCraft. So this is really good overall, I'd have to say, for the blue team. They lose a fort, but they get a kill. They're now looking for the boss, as they have that man advantage. And this is a very smart call. They are now going to go and be able to get themselves the XP differential. You can see fort, all those forts, they're down a level and a half. And they'll be able to open it up with the 2 towers and the fort there. However, on the other side, they are picking up the boss all at the same time, and there's no way for them to get across in time. Ember is going to be able to spot this out, but it's not going to be enough. As well, as you can see, they have a Hanzo. Hanzo is able to clear the things up, and their boss potentially has significantly more value here because that boss is now going to be able to march to keep. Snag in a bad position, going to be stunned out here. Ember, the only person nearby. Snag gets the overpower, trying to get on out. The stun from Hanzo. Dragon Arrow is going to help him secure the kill. Snag has lost all his souls, and Ember now has to get out. Breach trying to get that condemned to pull Ember in, as you are not unstoppable as Yrel. Keep that in mind. So you can get interrupted in the jump just like a Murden's leap. And so, nice knockback from Ember, but Breach has been sent into the base, and once again, stay a while and listen has been taken out with the interrupt. So they do not get the kill. CGL able to save Breach behind the wall. In the meantime, boss did get that 4. XP is much more even now, and well, it's a 1 tribute to 0 tribute situation. Now, that's definitely the situation they want. They're coming in for the invade. They know exactly where they are on CGL, and they might actually be able to get this camp as a full 5-man, as they have a very, very good position. APOC is available, and if they get the stale wall and listen, they can actually get it. Fabry getting tossed on over with the overpower. Dahaka coming on in. There's a 4-man route coming on out, and Johanna has popped the Iron Skin, and so they are able to walk away. But thankfully, they have a lot of zoning potential here. Nice zone coming from Snag, going to zone them out. There comes Staleball, and listen, the Blizzard, APOC onto all of them. Say goodbye to Phoenix once again. The Ring of Frost coming out, and they get themselves 1 kill. But the pull from Pone, it's enough to get the kill onto Diablo, and it's a 1-for-1. So, they lose the Diablo. There's a big wave bot, big wave mid. There's a lot of XP for them to soak. They're still a full level down numerically and XP wise. So they can get that XP mid, bot, and basically get the bruiser camp simultaneously. Now, the tribute here is Curse. The good news is Snag, let's see if we can actually see it here. He's at about halfway to full souls, which means he's not a paper bag at the moment. He's just, a paper bag that's not wet. So it looks like they're actually going to opt to give this up. They don't have everyone in position. They're going to just give this up, and they're going to soak the lanes and clear it up, I believe. Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. I'm not sure. They aren't really doing much in this interim. They've basically rotated. They haven't really accomplished too much. The Iron Skin has been popped out just in case, and they're going to work on getting towers. Oh no! Say goodbye to Fabre! He stuck his head on out, and it was chopped right off. And you got to be careful with a Diablo there, because he is going to do that every single time. Now, Pone is making a great play here, pressuring the top to force them to come on back. But they're not really going to push too hard. However, they do not want to lose top because that's a boss lane, and bot lane has also been opened up. And they cannot overstay. 16 has been picked up. If they can get to Dahaka somehow, they could kill him because Ember does have the ability to just hit him. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're rotating up. They can give up this tribute and get the kill on Pone and then go and do a boss. This is really interesting. Ember is still looking for the kill here. She does have the ability to knock him away. We do have the essence popped. So even if Pone gets on out of here, and he does get on out of here, and so he can now burrow on in. He has no essence for this fight. So it's a little bit questionable to have him fight right now, Pone, because he'll just be torn through, especially because he doesn't have adaptation. He has the isolation. And so they do have Decker Kane having set up shop. Now, we got Snag going on in the Condemn and the Arrow doing a lot. The Root getting 3. The APOC combo. Say goodbye. Rhaegar has been obliterated. Pone looking for the kill. The Blizzard, though, is going to be good. Breach is next up on the menu. Duke of Sky dropping some Frost Bolts. And that is almost a full man wipe. Ember still chasing, has the ability to get this kill potentially, as Soul Man has nowhere to go. Soul Man, and that is going to be a full ace. All right, we're going to see a lot of action there. We basically see the overpower, the stun, the roots, the Ring of Frost, and damn, they get the boss, they get the curse, they get so much there, and Ember picks up the additional kill. That's value town, baby. Now they have to be really wary, CGL White, as this is potentially game right here. Now, you might be thinking like, it's only a 15-minute boss, but this is also with curse, which means the boss is taking no damage. They have the Siege Giants available to them, and they are very likely to be able to walk on in with at least 75% HP on that boss. Ember going on in deep. They don't have any other advantage in terms of talents. Snag looking for it. Ember is not going to be able to land the slow, but the boss has been pretty much unharmed. CGL gets the arrow from Soul Man. A ton of damage coming on to Breeze. The Ancestral finally connects. Fabre will be able to get on out, but he is caught in the sleep. The Ring of Frost, the APOC say goodbye. 1, 2, and only 3 members are still remaining. Duke of Sky dropping the bombs from the Blizzard. It's a hailstorm, baby. And we have the blue team taking it in the name of the blue team. And they have turned this game around and captured game number 1. Ooh, now that was a spicy game. We had Fabre hitting 55k, Soulman hitting 51k. We got Greymane with the 48k, Jaina with the 36k, Diablo with the 34k. And if we check out the healing, Rhaegar not even close to Deckard, only managing 35k, 70k. Deckard out healing him pretty much by almost exactly twice as much. Here's the talents for you guys. We had the root come out from Jaina in case we have basically the full W build for Diablo. We had the Rejuve Potion, the Kanai's Cube, Ancient Blessing, Safety Numbers. We also had Holy Wrath coming on out. Aldor Peacekeeper, Ardent Defender, the Divine Steed, Aegis of Light, and Marad's Insight. And the rest looks pretty much normal across the board. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. And yeah, CGL White had a decent lead, but the blue team were able to reduce the advantage that CGL White had in multiple cases and keep them from gaining enough ground to really have a significant lead. And by preventing CGL from getting a significant lead, well, as you saw, the blue team was able to come back in it. And once those wombo combos came on out, say goodbye to CGL White, because they are definitely now CGL Black, as you don't really see much, from what I understand, in a coffin, except the blackness of it. All right, guys, so sit on tight, and we will be back for game number 2.